Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is Muji. And I think every morning when I share this, I say, this might be my favorite quote from Muji. And I feel that way again. This might be my favorite quotes from Muji. Let's get into today's message. Sunmari, good morning. Linda, good morning. Hello, beautiful humans. My heart feels very happy to see you. Right, let's get into it. Muji's words might just be the most beautiful description of doing inner work that I have ever come across. It's natural for any of us to look at our own worst qualities and want to change some of that. But when we judge or punish ourselves for it, we become involved in an inner war. And while this might seem to create the behavior change that we want, it also creates an inner civil war that could last forever. Charlene, good morning. Happy Thursday morning. Great seeing you. Muji captures poetically what happens when instead of fighting ourselves, we encounter the parts of ourselves that scare us with love and acceptance. Just listen to these beautiful words. He says, once you are present in the energy field of self-discovery, it is like you are a piece of ice in warm water. The warm water is the self. The ice is the mind. The warm water is not fighting with the ice. The ice cannot resist the melting. It is a natural and fatal attraction. Isn't that just so beautiful? I've seen this happen in clients so many times that I've come to really trust this process. All of your worst parts will melt when they are held in the warm love of your being. And then when you learn to be your own biggest supporter, to be the one who is best equipped to catch yourself when you fall, then even on your worst days, you'll be there for yourself. And Muji has something to say about these worst days. Just listen to how poetic this is once again. He says, be true to love. Do not betray her. Then, on the day that the forest of your mind bursts into flames, you will not run. You will remain silent and still, for this is when love bears her sweetest fruit, your untouched presence. Muji is capturing the truth that no matter how well we do our inner work, we are likely to still sometimes experience our own darkness, or as he put it, when the forest of your mind bursts into flames. But that is what this work is for. When the forest of the mind bursts into flames, you will not be afraid anymore. You won't need to run because you have learned how to be present with you. And when you no longer abandon yourself, when you're able to do the holding, when all parts of you are crying out in pain, rage, fear, grief, that is when the melting happens. There is no need to force the worst parts of you to change in order to change your behavior. You need to hold them in love and acceptance and realize that every time you do this, you are being your soul. Keep practicing being your soul and you will find yourself naturally acting from your soul. Keep acting from your soul and your older behavior is changed. Lasting change doesn't happen through force, but through gentle transformation. By befriending our shadow and holding our darkness with love and acceptance, we gently bring them into the light. Keep practicing self-love and you will witness the gradual melting of the ice, revealing the radiant being that you truly are. Danae, good morning. Maggie, good morning. Hello, beautiful humans. We are ready to slip away on today's journey. Today's meditation is called A Sense of Self. If you're ready, you can close your eyes And we will float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. Continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. With every inhale, feel how every cell in your body rises. With every exhale, feel how every cell in your body falls. And while you continue your full body breathing, today's meditation is an opportunity to invite our inner children for a conversation. In my mind, this always looks like the grade 1 teacher sitting on the carpet and calling the kids to come and sit with her. Story time or just time for a conversation. We will invite our inner children to come and sit with us, and the examples that I will use today are sadness, anger, and fear. The part of us that might sometimes feel sad. The part of us that might sometimes feel angry. And the part of us that might sometimes feel scared. We're inviting them to come and sit with us and have a conversation. We are here to listen. We are here to be the warm water that holds the ice. Muji says it so beautifully, the warm water is not fighting with the ice. It's never fighting. But ultimately, the ice cannot resist the melting. I might ask a few more times that you open yourself to the possibility of forming an image of what each of these three inner children might look like. And I want to assure you, it's not important that you have to see an image. It's simply helpful to be open to it. Open to seeing what the part of you that sometimes feels sad, what that part of you might look like. Think of a moment when you felt sad. What would that part of you look like then? How would that part of you be dressed? What would the body language of sadness be? And then anger. The part of you that sometimes feels really angry, what would that part of you look like? How would it be dressed? What age would it be? It's not obvious that it would be either our current age or a younger part. It could be either, or anywhere in between. And then fear. What would the part of you that sometimes feels really scared, what would that part of you look like? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of this journey. And we are inviting these inner children to stretch out along with us. Use a bit of imagination and imagine them taking these breaths along with us. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. Lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, let's take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air as it flows in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, the reminder is that we are inviting these three inner children to come and sit with us. The examples we are using today are sadness, anger, and fear. You may, of course, use different examples. It might be more practical for you to use parts of yourself that you feel you're experiencing right now, parts of yourself you might be dealing with at the present. So as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, have a conversation with these inner children again. Let them know that we are here to listen. We are here to learn how to understand. Take your next big breath. We will give each of these three inner children the opportunity to speak and for us to listen. First, we turn our attention towards sadness, the part of you that perhaps experiences sadness from time to time. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, we are asking sadness to speak. Remind yourself of what it feels like when you are sad. What do those emotions feel like? What does it feel like in your body when you feel sad? What are the thoughts that go through your mind? The words, the phrases. And pay particular attention to the repetitive nature of those thoughts. It's like the same recording playing again every time. So with your next big breath, ask sadness to speak. Take your next big breath. We're extending the conversation with sadness by asking sadness a question. Take a look at this part of you. See if you can form an image of what sadness might look like. And then as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, say, sadness, in those moments when you feel so sad, what is it that you're afraid will happen? It's a very simple question. What is it that you are afraid will happen? And then just listen. Sit back and listen. Take your next big breath. Take a moment to thank sadness for being present here today, for being seen, for being heard. That is a brave thing to do. We'll turn our attention next to anger. We are here to listen to anger as well. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, invite anger to speak. What are the things that you often feel angry about? What does it feel like in your body when you're angry? What are the thoughts that go through your mind when you feel anger? And pay particular attention to the repetitive nature of these thoughts. It seems to be the same recording that plays again and again every time when we are angry. Invite anger to speak while you are available to listen. Take your next big breath. And then we extend the conversation with anger by asking it a question. Turn towards anger and say, "Hey, anger, I get the sense that you're trying to protect me from something. I get the sense that your anger comes from something that you want to change or be different. What is the bad thing that you are trying to prevent from happening?" So as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, ask anger this question: what is the bad thing that you're trying to prevent from happening? And take your next big breath and listen. Take a moment to thank anger for being present here today, for being seen, for being heard. We know it takes courage even for anger. And then we'll turn our attention towards fear, the part of us that sometimes feels scared. And as you take your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, remind yourself of what being scared feels like. What does it feel like in your body when you are flooded with fear? And then what are the thoughts that go through your mind when you experience fear? And pay particular attention to the repetitive nature of those thoughts. It tends to be that every time we're scared, it's the same recording playing again. So we're asking fear to speak. Take your next big breath and listen. We're extending the conversation with fear by asking fear a question. So turn towards fear and see if you can form an image of what the scared part of you might look like. And here's the question. Say, fear, in those moments that you feel scared, what is it that you really want for me? What is the outcome that you want for me? What is your deep desire for me, fear? A very simple question. Fear, what is it that you want for me? Take your next big breath and listen. Take a moment to thank fear for being seen, for being heard, for being present. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath-holding space and into the next. And invite these inner children to place themselves wherever it is that they want to be. Perhaps they'd like to sit closer to you. Perhaps they'd like to sit on top of you. Perhaps they'd like to crawl inside of you. Or perhaps they have somewhere else that they'd like to just go and play. Wherever it is that they want to be, take them there. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every cell of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. The practical application of this exercise is that we stop having an inner civil war against parts of ourselves that we might have felt in conflict with. The practical application is that we become a soft space for these parts of ourselves to be experienced in. And the simplest, most practical way I can articulate this is, if you're holding space for sadness to be seen and heard, then you are not embodying sadness. If you hold a space for anger to be seen and heard, then you are not embodying anger. What are you embodying then? I love how Muji speaks about this. He says, once you are present in the energy field of self-discovery, it is like you are a piece of ice in warm water. The warm water is the self. The warm water is what you are embodying with your arms wide open. The ice is the mind. Now, the warm water is not ever fighting with the ice. There's no war happening there. Yet, eventually, the ice cannot resist the melting. And Muji speaks about the effect that this has. What do we become? How do we become if we keep following the process? He says, be true to love. Do not betray her. And that just means being this way. Being the embodiment of love that can have its arms wide open to every part of ourselves. And then, on the day that the forest of the mind bursts into flames, you will not run. You will not need to run. You will not be afraid of the forest of your mind bursting into flames. You will remain still and silent, for this is when love bears her sweetest fruit, your untouched presence. Offering yourself your own presence. Remind yourself of how helpful it is to be able to sit with someone who is going through something. Not to fix them, not to change them, but just offering them a safe space in which to be seen and heard. Now imagine offering yourself the same presence. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to offer myself my own calm presence. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this beautiful image of warm water holding ice. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that in offering myself my own presence, there's never combat happening. There's no war against any part of me. There is a holding. There's an allowance for feeling to happen. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning to trust how in the holding, eventually there is always a melting of seemingly opposing parts melting into a beautiful oneness. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being a safe space for your inner children to be seen and heard. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Sunmarie. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you. I probably already said Danae, but I can say thank you to Danae again. Lots of love to you all. Have a beautiful day. And again, thank you for learning how to be the safe space for your inner children to be held in. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.